What's going on, guys? PlotArmorCards in the house, and today I'm here with a new deck and some new duels with Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So today I decided to make a Toon deck because this is a deck I loved in the early anime. Pegasus' Toon build was always dope to me. So I had to go ahead and try this out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the type of cards I'm using before we go into the duels. So I'm running 3 copies of the Blackstone of Legend. That's to search my Red Eyes Toon Dragon, which I'm running 3 of. I'm running 3 copies of Eater of Millions. I'm running 1 copy of Max C. I only have 1 copy. If I had more copies, I would probably switch them out for the trap card I'm using, Woboku. I'm running 3 copies of Ash Blossom, of course. 1 copy of Toon Harpy Lady just for spell and trap removal in case I need it. 1 copy of Toon Cyber Dragon. 3 copies of Red Eyes Toon Dragon, as mentioned before. 3 copies of Toon Dark Magician. 1 copy of Toon Engineer Golem for the piercing. 2 copies for the Toon Blackluster Soldier. I would definitely be running 3 of these if I had 3. So I'm going to wait until I have enough UR CPs, and then I'm going to get 1 more. I'm running a copy of Nibiru. This thing doesn't have too many negative repercussions for me just because my monsters can mostly attack directly. And I also have cards that can steal their monsters, like Comic Hand. So if it does end up getting a lot of attack, I can just steal it with Comic Hand. 1 copy of Mimicat. And then I have some searchers here, 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents. This is super dope. 1 copy of Terraforming, which obviously is going to add the field spell to my deck, from my deck to my hand. 3 copies of Toon Bookmark, and then, as mentioned before, 2 copies of Comic Hand. 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. 3 copies of Toon Page Flip, and then 2 copies of Woboku. So, and then for the extra deck, I just threw a bunch of random stuff in there. Relinquished Anima has been coming in kind of useful, coming kind of handy in this deck. Not too much. I usually just use the extra deck for Eater of Millions. So guys, let's go ahead and take a look at these duels. So the first duel I want to take a look at today, I drew Eater of Millions, Red Eyes Toon Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, that's Toon Blackluster Soldier, Toon Kingdom, and Toon Bookmark. This guy's running Eldlich. Eldlich? I'm really bad at pronunciations, guys. I'm sorry about that. But everyone knows about this archetype. It's probably the most annoying, hurtful thing to you when you play against this in Master Duel. So he summons his monster using his trap cards, and his trap cards each have effects in the graveyard which allow them to banish themselves to, in return, place a card face down. So I believe he's going to go ahead and put 2 cards face down here. And the thing with the Toon deck is you need to have Toon Kingdom on the field or it's nowhere near as effective as it can be. So whenever you draw Toon Kingdom is super dope. Toon Bookmark is also really dope because you can use it to add a number of cards to your hand. And if it's in a number of different cards to your hand. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can use it to protect your Toon Kingdom that's on the field. So, but he Ash Blossomed mine, so I wasn't able to search a card and add it to my hand, but while it's in the graveyard, I can still use it to protect my Toon Kingdom. So it's never too big of a loss. So then I can normal summon Blackstone of Legend, which allows me to search for and summon Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Its effect will allow me to special summon Toon Blackluster Soldier, and then Toon Blackluster Soldier can banish 1, and then my Eater of Millions can banish his other Eldlich face down. So now 2 of them are banished. I've yet to see someone using an Eldlich deck actually bring an Eldlich card back from the grave. Or, sorry, not the grave, but remove from play. So I'm thinking I'm in a good situation here. But he summons another Eldlich. And Eldlich, yes, it's pronounced Eldlich, I believe. I'm terrible at pronunciations. So I'm going to use Toon Table of Contents, and then he counters it by using an Imperial Order. And then, since he uses Imperial Order, my Toon Kingdom and my Toon Table of Contents are now essentially rendered useless. So all I essentially have these cards for are just attack power. I can use Red Eyes Toon Dragon's effect, but it's, again, they can't attack directly anymore. This thing's effect is gone. So I can use this to attack directly after I destroy their monsters, but I can't bypass monsters to attack directly. And then, of course, my Eater of Millions is going to banish his other Eldlich, the Golden Lord, so I don't think he's coming back from that. And he realizes that, so he calls it a turn. For the next turn, I drew 2 Blackstone of Legends, which isn't too great. I usually just want 1, because it can recycle itself. Blackstone of Legends will destroy itself in order to special summon my Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Red Eyes Toon Dragon will special summon the Harpy. I purposely didn't special summon Toon Blackluster Soldiers because I don't have the field spell out, and if it gets destroyed, I'm kind of screwed. So he uses Chicken Game and uses 1,000 to draw a card, so I'm assuming he's using some sort of Exodia deck, right? So then it's my turn, and then I can draw. I drew an Ash Blossom, And then I use his own card to sacrifice 1,000 to draw the exact card I need. Tell me that isn't clutch. And now I can pop off even more combos. I'm going to use my Red Eyes Toon Dragon, and I'm going to banish his field spell so he can't take advantage of it next turn. And then because of swords, I can't attack. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a turn. He's going to try to use Foolish Burial, but I know better than that. I'm going to go ahead and use Ash Blossom there. I'm not going to let him get that off. Then he uses Harpy's Feather Duster. It's kind of a shame because now I'm back to square one, back where I started. But I did draw Toon Dark Magician. That's really dope because Red Eyes Toon Dragon can special summon it, and now I can use its effect to add Toon Bookmark to my hand. And Toon Bookmark can search my field spell, Toon Kingdom, and then when it goes to the graveyard, it counts. It's going to be protection for the Toon Kingdom, so he's not going to be able to do what he did again. And then I use my Blackstone of Legends effect to shuffle it back into, shuffle the Red Eyes Toon Dragon in order to add it back to my hand. And now I can attack with all... Sorry, I can't attack with Toon Dark Magician, and I can't attack with Toon Blackluster Soldier since I banished one with Toon Blackluster Soldier, and then I just special summon Toon Dark Magician. And then he uses Chicken Game, uses his effect to draw another card, and then obviously I'm going to take advantage of it again. So I'm going to draw another card, and I'm going to use my Toon Dark Magician's effect to destroy that in order to add Toon Bookmark to my hand. Toon Bookmark will then allow me to add a second Toon Kingdom to my hand, just in case he has a counter for it. So then Toon Blackluster Soldier will banish this card, and the rest of my cards can attack directly and put an end to him. That's that for that duel, guys. For this next duel, I drew Toon Table of Contents, which is essentially is a generic searcher for the Toon cards, which is really dope. But he's using Cyber, so he's going to go first, and he's popping off all his Cyber Dragon combos. And now he's going to use Machine Duplication, I believe that is. Yep, Machine Duplication in order to summon 2 Cyber Dragons. And then he's going to use Cyber Emergency to add Cyber Dragon Core to his hand. And now he's going to summon the Cyber Dragon Core. Cyber Dragon Core's effect will allow him to add Cyber Rev System, I believe, to his hand. And then he's going to go into Nova, and we all know from Nova he's going to go into Infinity. And then he's going to use Cyber Rev System in order to special summon the Cyber Dragon in his hand. Then he goes straight into Infinity from there. And Infinity is kind of tricky because you kind of have to outsmart the person if you don't have a negate for its negate. So you kind of have to work around it. So I'm trying to get him to waste it. So I'm using Toon Table of Contents. He doesn't negate that. So then I'm going to use my Toon Bookmark. And then he does negate the Toon Bookmark, which is super dope because that was essentially a bait. And then Toon Bookmark in the grave will protect my Toon Kingdom. So I'm not too mad over that. And now I can play my Toon Kingdom. Then I can use my Toon Page Flip, which allows me to show him 3 of the Toon cards I choose, and then he chooses one of them, I think, randomly to special summon. So then I get out my Blackluster Soldier. So I'm going to go ahead and banish his Infinity right away, put an end to that mess. It's not my problem anymore. I know, depending on how you play Cyber Dragons, if you banish cards can actually be helpful to get all certain fusions, so I got to be careful of that. But he Link summons into his Cyber Dragon, his Link monster, and then I go ahead and play Webaku, and then he's going to use Raigeki, but I have my Toon Kingdom on the field, so it's not too big of a deal. Next, I draw Eater of Millions, which is perfect. I can banish 5 from my extra deck to summon it, and then he's going to use this thing's effect in order to double his attack, which doesn't matter because this thing's effect banishes it face down. Then I can attack directly with my Toon Blackluster Soldier, and I'm going to call it a turn. So he's going to use his Core's effect from the grave. He's going to special summon Nashter. And then Nashter allows him to summon Cyber Dragon Nova. And then he's going to go right back into another copy of Cyber Dragon Infinity. Now, he can't target my Toon Blackluster Soldier, so he has no choice but to take the other one. And then he goes from there, and he goes back into Cyber Dragon Seeker. And then he realizes he can't do anything, and he calls it a turn. So in this duel, I draw... Essentially, what you want is a fair balance of the spell cards and a fair balance of the monsters. That's probably the best way to get everything out. So I play Toon Kingdom. I'm going to use Toon Bookmark in order to get Toon Page Flip. Then I'm going to use Toon Table of Contents in order to get a second Toon Bookmark for the next turn. Then I'm going to play Toon Page Flip in order for me to get a special summon off. So I show him the same 3 I always show him. Blackluster Soldier, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes. And then I think he randomly chooses one. I'm going to use its effect in order to special summon Toon Blackluster Soldier. And then my Toon Bookmark, one of them is already in the graveyard, so my Toon Kingdom is already prepared. And this is a second Cyber Dragon player. So this guy is going to summon Cyber Dragon. He's going to use his cards in order to special summon themselves, and then he's going to use Cyber Rev System, and then he goes into I haven't seen this card comboed with this deck too much. Greater Polymerization. I know it works wonders in certain decks, but I've yet to see it. And then he tries to destroy my Toon Kingdom, but I have Toon Bookmark in the grave, so I'm good to go. And he's just popping off further combos, and he can't do anything but end his turn. So lucky for me, I had good defenses. So I'm then going to play my Toon Bookmark again because I need to search more. Toon Page Flip, and then if he didn't have a negate, he didn't have an Ash Blossom or anything, then he's screwed at this point. I don't think there's anything he can do. So that allows me to summon a second Dark Magician. Now this Dark Magician cannot attack because it was special summoned this turn. So I'm going to use the Dark Magician to destroy the Dark Magician. And then I'm going to special summon Eater of Millions. I'm going to use my second Bookmark just to have it in the grave for negates. And then I use it to add my Toon Page Flip, which allows me to add Toon Kingdom for next turn, just in case. I'm going to use my Eater of Millions to banish his card face down, and then I can declare an attack with my 2 monsters, not the third one. I think that's a big problem with this archetype is a lot of them have really good effects and would be really, really good if they didn't have a secondary effect that like stopped them from attacking of a certain situation. Like Black Luster Soldier, if I banish something, I can't attack with it. A Dark Magician, if it's summoned, I can't attack with it the same turn. So there's certain restrictions on this deck that I feel like hold it back a little bit. This deck is really good, don't get me wrong, but it could be a million times better. Also, I'd love to see an extra deck monster. I think I mentioned this before, but some sort of Link monster or some sort of XYZ monster for this archetype would be really dope. So he's going into 2 different Cyber Dragon Seegers. I think they're called Seegers. But he tries to attack my monster, and that banishes it, but it only works once, so he attacks it with the second one, and then he realizes he's kind of screwed, so he calls it a turn. All right. So next, I love Comic Hand, because anytime I have the field spell on the field, I can essentially take whatever I want from my opponent. I'm going to use my Blackstone of Legends in order to special summon my Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Then I'm going to use Toon Bookmark in order to add Toon Kingdom to my hand. I'm going to play the Toon Kingdom. And then I'm just going to call it a turn. This guy is using pendulums. Now, I'm not too familiar with pendulums. I personally don't like playing them. I could completely see if people like playing them. That's on you. If you guys like that, great. Have fun, right? But personally, I like to stay away from them. So then he's summoning this Link monster. I know nothing about what's happening right now because I don't know these cards in these combos. So I get a notification right here. You know how it tells you your opponent's effect is activating or whatnot. Then it asks me if I want to use Ash Blossom. I was like, screw it. Why not, right? Just put an end to his stuff. So then I negated its effect. And now he's still popping off various combos. And he's going to summon 2 monsters. And then he's using this thing's effect to destroy that in order to special summon a different one. And then he's going to Link summon into Unchained Abomination. And then he's going to go for a battle phase, but my Toon Kingdom makes it so it can't be destroyed. I do take 600 damage, but that's not too bad at all. Now I draw, and I drew probably the best card I can think of right now, Toon Page Flip. And he's going to play a second Max C. I don't know why he thinks he's going to survive another turn with just that on the field. But Toon Page Flip allows me to show him 3 again and special summon a random one, I believe. And then I get straight into Dark Magician. Dark Magician allows me to destroy one to special summon one. But before that, I can use my Comic Hand to take control of his monster and then special summon Black Luster Soldier. He knows it's over, and so he calls it a turn. Personally, I really, really like this deck. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it's a really dope archetype that's interesting and unique. But I think it relies a little too much on Toon Kingdom because you can't use Toon World, the original Toon World. You can use it, but I think Toon Kingdom's a little better for protection purposes. I know this deck has ways to search it. I know this deck has ways to protect it, like Toon Bookmark. But I think that I've personally had experiences where even with all that stuff in the deck, I haven't been able to play Toon Kingdom, and then after that, all my combos usually are terrible, and I can't do anything. So that's a problem. Also, a lot of the monsters, when they're special summoned or when they use an effect or whatnot, they can't attack the same turn. I feel that slows down the deck just a little bit. But other than that, it's a really fun deck, a really dope deck to try out. I think I would like to see more support for this deck. I would like to see support for every archetype, actually. But this one in specific, just because I'd like to see what Konami could do with this archetype. That'd be super dope. Well, anyway, guys, this was PlotArmorCards. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for me to improve the decks or anything, you can go ahead and comment those down below. And oh my goodness, look at the time.
It's time to